Your budgie's trust does not usually break in one big moment. It breaks in tiny moments you thought were harmless. Your budgie is not mean. It may be keeping a record of every time your hand ignored its fear. If your budgie runs from your hand, bites your finger, freezes on the perch, turns away, or suddenly stops coming near you, it may not hate you. It may be learning, little by little, that you are hard to predict. And the saddest part is, many owners damage trust while believing they are being loving. Maybe you brought your budgie home with so much excitement, you imagined it sitting on your finger, chirping when you walked in, maybe even talking to you one day. But instead, it backs away. It flutters in panic, it bites, it goes quiet when you approach, and you start asking yourself, why doesn't my budgie trust me? Today, we are going through the hidden things that quietly break a budgie's trust, why your bird reacts this way, and how to begin fixing it before the bond becomes harder to repair. Because your budgie is always studying you. Every small moment teaches it one thing. You are calm, or I need to protect myself.
Number 1. You move too fast around your budgie. This is one of the biggest trust breakers, and many owners never notice it. You walk into the room quickly. You open the cage door suddenly. You reach toward the perch before your budgie understands what is happening. To you, it feels normal. But to your budgie, fast movement can feel like danger. Budgies are prey birds. Their fear response is often faster than conscious thought. A sudden hand can look like a claw. A quick reach can feel like an attack. A shadow over the cage can make the body react before the bird has time to think. So when your budgie jumps away, flaps, or bites, it is not being dramatic. It is protecting itself. The fix is simple, but not easy. Slow everything down. Pause before you open the cage. Let your budgie see your hand before it enters. Move from the side, not from above. Speak softly before you come closer. Trust grows when your budgie can predict you, but even if you slow down, there is another mistake many owners make out of love.
Number 2. You ask for touch before your budgie is ready. This one hurts because your heart may be in the right place. You want your budgie to step up, you want to stroke its head, you want it to sit on your finger like the birds you see online. So you offer your hand again and again, but your budgie moves away. Then you follow, it moves again. You follow again, and without meaning to, bonding becomes pressure. That is the painful twist. From your side, it looks like love. From your budgie's side, it may feel like being trapped. For a budgie, trust does not begin with touching, it begins with choice. Bird behavior studies often show that choice-based training creates calmer responses than forced handling. When your bird can say no and you listen, your hand becomes less frightening. This is the mistake most owners miss. They think the goal is to get closer, but the real goal is to make the bird feel calm enough to come closer by itself. If your budgie learns that moving away does not work, it may try the next signal, a bite. Not because it is bad, because biting worked when body language failed. So next time, watch before you ask. If your budgie leans away, stop. If it turns its back, pause. If the feathers pull tight, give space. If the eyes look wide and the body becomes still, do not push closer. Do not chase it around the cage with your finger. Put your hand nearby and let the bird decide. Use millet as a bridge, not a trap. A budgie that chooses to come closer is building real trust. A budgie forced to stay is only learning to freeze. But even if you stop chasing, your hand may still make your budgie nervous for another reason. Number 3. Your hand only appears when something stressful happens. Think about this from your bird's point of view. A hand comes in, and the food dish is taken away. A hand comes in, and the cage is cleaned loudly. A hand comes in, and toys are moved. A hand comes in, and the bird is grabbed for nail trimming. After a while, your budgie may stop seeing your hand as friendly. It sees your hand as the beginning of change, and change can feel dangerous.
Avian behaviorists often explain that parrots learn through repeated patterns, not single moments. Your budgie is not reacting only to today. It is remembering what usually happens next. This is why some budgies panic the moment fingers enter the cage. They have learned the pattern. Hand means stress. Hand means something changes. Hand means prepare. So you need to change what your hand means. Put your hand near the cage without asking for anything. Ret it outside the bars while you speak softly. Hold millet at the door and let your budgie come forward only if it wants. Sometimes let your hand be present and do nothing. No grabbing, no chasing, no demand. Make your hand the calm hand, the patient hand, the hand that brings good things and then goes away peacefully. That is when the old meaning begins to change. The mistakes that hurt trust are often the ones that look loving from your side. But if your budgie has already started biting, the next mistake can make the fear even deeper. Number 4. You punish the bite instead of listening to what came before it. This is one of the easiest mistakes to make. Your budgie bites, and you react. You say, no. You pull your hand away fast. Maybe you tap the cage. Maybe you scold the bird. Maybe you feel hurt and ask, why are you so mean? But biting is usually not the beginning. Biting is the final message. Before the bite, your budgie may have already spoken. It leaned away. It lifted one foot. It opened its beak slightly. It moved to the far side of the perch. It made its body thin. It went very still. Your budgie may have warned you 5 times before the bite. The bite was just the first warning you noticed. That line matters because many owners only hear the loudest signal, but your budgie was speaking long before that. It was saying, too close. Please stop. I am not ready.
I do not feel okay. But if those quiet warnings are ignored, the bird uses the one signal humans finally respect. A bite. Punishment makes this worse. It teaches your budgie that humans are unpredictable, and unpredictable things are hard to trust. So instead of asking, how do I stop the bite? Ask, what happened before the bite? Was your hand too close? Was the bird cornered? Was it tired? Was it guarding food? Did you move from above? Did you keep going after it had already said no? The goal is not to win against your budgie. The goal is to understand what it was trying to say before it had to bite. When you respect the warning, the bird needs the bite less. But sometimes you are not touching your budgie at all, and you may still be making it nervous. Number 5. You stare too much without realizing how it feels. This sounds small, but to a budgie it can matter. You love your bird, so you watch it. You lean close to the cage. You look directly at its face. You wait for it to do something cute. But to a nervous bird, strong staring can feel threatening. Predators stare. A scared budgie may freeze when your eyes lock onto it. And here is the mini twist. You may be watching because you love your budgie, but your budgie may be freezing because it feels watched by a predator. That does not mean you should ignore your bird. It means you should soften your attention, turn your body slightly sideways, blink slowly, look near the bird, not straight into its eyes for too long, sit nearby and do something quiet, ride, fold clothes, use your phone calmly. Let your budgie see that your presence does not always mean pressure. Sometimes the best bonding happens when you stop trying so hard. Your bird begins to learn. You are near me, but nothing bad is happening. That quiet lessons can change the whole room. And sometimes the problem is not your hand or your eyes. It is the room itself.
Number 6. You change its world too suddenly. Budgies are small birds, and small birds care deeply about their surroundings. A new toy, a moved perch, a cage placed in a different corner, a loud visitor, a vacuum cleaner, a towel hanging near the cage. Even a new object on top of the cage can make a nervous budgie unsure. To you, the new toy is enrichment. To your budgie, it may look like a strange object sitting inside its only safe place. That is why a bird may suddenly go quiet after you add something new. It may avoid one side of the cage. It may stop playing. It may refuse to go near the perch it used yesterday. To you, the change seems helpful. To your budgie, it may feel like its whole little world changed overnight. Some budgies are bold. Others need time to study from a distance. Parrot trainers often call this desensitization. Letting the bird see something from far enough away that its body stops treating it like danger. So do not force new things too quickly. Play new toys outside the cage first. Let your budgie look at them for a day or two. Move them closer slowly. Only place them inside when your bird seems calmer around them. Trust is not only about your hand. It is about whether your budgie feels steady in its world. A bird that feels secure is more willing to bond. A bird that is surprised all the time stays guarded. But the next trust breaker is not something you do with your hands. It is something you may be doing in your own mind. Number 7. You expect trust too quickly and miss the small signs. This is the one many loving owners struggle with. You see videos of budgies sitting on shoulders, talking, cuddling, stepping up perfectly. Then you look at your own bird and feel disappointed. But every budgie has its own past, its own personality, its own fear level. Some birds trust in days, some need weeks, some need months, and some show trust in ways so quiet that owners miss them. This is the truth many people overlook. The first real sign of trust may not be a step up. It may be your budgie eating while you sit nearby. It may be staying on the perch when you stand up. It may be chirping when you enter the room. It may be preening near you. It may be closing its eyes while you are close. That last one matters. A tiny prey bird does not relax near something it believes is dangerous. So do not ignore the small signs while waiting for the big one. Trust is not always a bird jumping onto your finger. Sometimes, trust is a bird staying calm when it could have flown away. That matters. But you can only see those signs if you understand the language your budgie is already speaking. Number 8. You are missing your budgie's body language. Your budgie is speaking all the time, not with human words, with feathers, eyes, posture, distant sound. A relaxed budgie may fluff slightly, chirp softly, grind its beak, straight one wing, preen, or stand on one foot. A worried budgie may become very still.
It may slick its feathers tight, it may lean away, it may breathe faster, it may move to the far side of the cage. An overwhelmed budgie may open its beak, lunge, or bite. When you learn these signs, your relationship changes. You stop guessing. You start listening, and your budgie begins to feel the difference, because trust is built when the bird realizes, when I say no, you hear me. That is powerful. Many owners think training begins when the bird steps up. But real training begins earlier. It begins when your budgie learns that its small signals matter, and that leads to the deepest mistake of all.
Number 9. You make bonding about control instead of safety. Many owners ask, how do I make my budgie step up? But a better question is, how do I help my budgie feel calm enough to choose me? That one shift changes everything. Modern parrot training often uses positive reinforcement, where the bird learns through reward and choice instead of pressure. That means you are not trying to force trust. You are making trust worth choosing. Use millet gently. Sit near the cage daily. Speak softly. Move slowly. Keep training short. End before your bird becomes tired or stressed. Let your budgie come closer in tiny steps. Celebrate small wins. Do not rush the first touch. Do not chase. Do not grab unless there is a real emergency. Let your bird learn that your presence brings peace, not pressure. Then slowly, the bird that once backed away may begin to lean forward. It may come to the cage bars. It may take millet. It may place one foot on your finger, then step away, then try again tomorrow. That is not failure, that is repair. And here is the final truth. Your budgie does not need you to be perfect. It needs you to be consistent, gentle, patient, predictable. If you have made mistakes, you have not ruined everything. Many budgies can learn to trust again when the pattern changes. The same hand that once scared them can become the hand that brings millet. The same voice that once felt too loud can become the sound of comfort. The same room that once felt stressful can become familiar and peaceful. But you have to slow down enough to let your budgie believe you, so the next time your budgie moves away, do not take it personally. Listen.
The next time it bites, do not ask, why is my bird mean? Ask, what did I miss before the bite?
and the next time it stays near you. Even for a few quiet seconds, understand what that means. A tiny bird with a fast heartbeat chose not to run. That is trust beginning. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. And if your budgie has ever backed away, bitten, frozen, or suddenly stopped coming to you, tell me in the comments. What does your budgie do when it feels scared? Does it bite, fly away, go silent, or freeze? And what is one thing you think you may need to change after hearing this? Because your story may help another budgie owner realize their bird was never trying to be difficult. It was trying to be understood. So before you try to train your budgie tomorrow, try listening to it first.